It is important, I think, during the course of a pregnancy to find out where is your health centre in relation to your home. What are the hours of the health centre? Who's your public health nurse? What's her name? When can you expect to see her? And does she have clinics in the health centre? And if so, what days and what hours? The other most important thing, I think, when it comes to health centres and your local support network is finding out about things like parent and child groups, breastfeeding support groups. These are opportunities to not only get support for you with breastfeeding or in the postnatal period following your baby's birth, but also give you an opportunity to meet other mums in your area. This is an opportunity that it's very rarely afforded to women, and for many of us, particularly if you're working, you don't really know your neighbours that well, but it gives you an opportunity to meet people who are in a similar circumstance. It gives you an opportunity to meet people whose children may more than likely will be in the same school as your child when the time comes, and it gives you an opportunity to talk about things, which is incredibly important when you've had a baby. I think first-time mothers sometimes are reluctant to actually ask questions in case they look foolish, or they're reluctant to actually tell you what's happening in case it reflects somewhat as being a failure for them. There is no failure in asking for help. There's no failure in talking about things. And you'll actually feel that much better after talking about something than bottling something up. Frequently we have our own little networks of friends and family that we would ring if we had an issue. And I want you to avail of those networks. They were there for you during the pregnancy, and they should equally be there for you now in these weeks and months following delivery. I suppose the other thing to tell you with friends and family is, and advice you would get, is that it's advice that relates to their baby, to how they raised their baby, and to their pregnancy. That this is your baby. This what was your pregnancy. So pick and choose the bits of advice that work for you, and that regardless whether the advice comes from your friend, your parent, or your healthcare professional, because every baby is different. I suppose additional issues that are important in the postnatal period is that lots of women get baby blues. And typically we would always say this is day 3 after delivery, where the adrenaline that got you through the delivery bottoms out and the smallest of things overwhelm you. That is normal. But if you get home and that feeling is still with you, and you're reluctant to talk to anyone about it, or you're reluctant to meet family and friends, we're there for you. Every maternity hospital has an emotional health team and a mental health team whose sole focus is guiding you, supporting you, helping you through this period, because it is a complete change in mindset for you and your partner. And the healthier you are, the healthier your baby is going to be. So we've dealt with delivery, we've dealt with bleeding, we've dealt with pain. I would also say, I suppose, we're a very social media orientated world. Bear in mind all those lovely pictures of celebrities who've had babies have taken a team to get that photo. And you don't know how many photos were taken before that picture's been released to the press. You don't have that team. Your team is you, your partner, and your baby. It will take you time to actually get into routine. It'll take you time to get your figure back. And it is as important now to focus on you and your health and the bigger picture than the small minutiae of day to day as to, is dinner on the table? So what if it is? If it's not, that's no problem either. Diet is important in that you need protein to rebuild your muscle bulk and help your muscles repair. Your pelvic floor is of critical importance, and lots of ladies have moments over the days and weeks after delivery where they would have sudden loss of urinary control. That's normal. Your muscles have stretched to let a little baby into the world, and they need to rebuild back up that tone after delivery. So not to panic if you have a moment where you didn't quite make it to the bathroom. That's a common occurrence, and it's why every woman when they're in the hospital goes through antenatal classes to teach them about pelvic floor exercises. And all women that have had surgery in the hospital will see a physiotherapist before they go home, again to give you a page with all the exercises on it so that you can do it in your time, and in the very few spare moments that you'll have over the coming weeks. So diet from the point of view of protein, diet from the point of view of carbohydrate. Most of us, I suppose, are always anxious to get back to being ourselves again, but you're going to be a new self. There's never going to be the same you again because your life has changed for the better. You have somebody to share it with now. So carbohydrates are important. They're not your enemy. You need them for energy, and you also need them because they can assist in serotonin, which is that good, happy hormone release, which sometimes is a small pleasure after having a baby, particularly when you're tired and everything is so different and new for you. And again, the focus on fluids, just to see if we can boost your milk production, particularly if you're breastfeeding. If you are breastfeeding, congratulations. There are, I suppose, we have lower breastfeeding rates in Ireland than they report in other countries. But whatever way you're feeding your baby, it's the decision that you've made for you, it's the decision that was right for you, and it's the decision that's right for your baby. So whatever supports you need, never feel that there's judgment waiting for you. In fact, most healthcare professionals, midwifery colleagues, public health nurses are there eager to give you our advice and support. And it's much better, I suppose, to learn from our mistakes than to learn from your own. Enjoy this time. You've got a baby. 6 weeks from now, when this little person smiles at you and you get a yard of empty gum, all those sleepless nights, all that exhaustion is all going to seem worthwhile, and they're somewhat addictive. So I can guarantee you 6 months down the line, you're going to be thinking of baby number 2. So the priority now is to get your health back, a new version of your life back, and make sure that you're healthy going into the future as a new family.